Most people say you gotta buy expensive stuff to catch good fish, but what if I told you every single one of these fish was caught with the same pole that costs less than a pizza from Domino's? Not only is it cheap, but it's also extremely reliable, helping me land fish after fish after fish after fish. And not only things like little catfish or bass or something, but even things as big as sharks and giant redfish. But you clicked this video because you wanted to see what my budget setup was, so I'm going to throw this fish back, and then we're going to go ahead and get into the best setup for the beginner fisherman who's trying to catch massive fish on a very cheap budget. So I started off by going to Walmart and picking up this rod. Now you can see it was $20.12. That is an absolute steal. It is actually an Ozark Trail spinning rod and reel combo. It's very big. It might seem bulky, but this is honestly the best deal I found. There were some that were like $25 from a different brand, but those were way flimsier. This one is pretty strong. It doesn't have a ton of bend to it, which is good for a catfishing rod. So what we're gonna do is get this line taken off and get some braid put on. This is gonna take a minute. Personally, I don't ever use the string that these things come with because it is cheap, crappy string. So I'll pop that off and start to reel in some 40-pound braid. Now I had some on hand, but I'll show you in a minute how much it costs if you buy it from Walmart. But once I got this stuff all spooled up, it's time for me to attach my hooks and my weights and show you what this thing looks like all set up. So this is the pole all set up. You can see it's got a little bit of give to it, but not much. Great for fighting big fish. I wouldn't really use this too much for a smaller fish, but with the weight and everything, it's perfect for casting really far out, which is a huge necessity if you're a bank fisherman like me. Now, I'm going to show you how much this stuff costs if you get it from Walmart. Braided line at Walmart costs about 10 bucks, and it comes with 50-pound braid, so that's plenty enough. Now, if you're looking at the hooks, the ones I swear by and use are these Eagle Claw Laser Sharp Circle C hooks that are about 8 bucks. And then the weights, I just go and find some 1-ounce weights. This one was a pack of 16 for 5 bucks. So that's what I use for my weights, and these things can throw far. So if you wanted to buy this setup today, how much would you have to bring with you to the store? The answer? About 45 bucks, and that's going to cover your rod and reel, your hooks, and your weights, and some line. But if you really want to level up your chances of catching a big fish, you're going to want some way to catch some good bait. Big bait equals big fish. So I've got 2 cheap budget ways that you can catch plenty of bait to use for your big fishing endeavors. The first way you can do is getting a little kiddie pole like this. This was a little Minecraft pole I got for $10, as well as a little $5 kit to catch as many bluegill and panfish as I want for bait. But the method I like to use to get bait is getting a cheap cast net like this $30 one, throwing it out, and catching tons and tons of mullet and bluegill and whatever else I can find in my cast net. So let's say you go crazy and you want to buy all of it: the rod, the reel, the hook, the line, the weights, the kiddie pole, the panfish kit, and the cast net. You're still not going to break $100, which is crazy because so many fishing poles cost like a minimum of 150 bucks. And if you're like me and you like eating fish, this pole is going to set your freezer up for life. And the part I like the most about it is if this rod and reel mess up, it's only $20 to replace. If you were to break a regular rod or reel, you're going to be looking at anywhere from $120 to $300 to replace it. And I find that so crazy because you could replace 5 fishing rods before even reaching the price of 1. But now I guess you're wondering, well, how often do they break? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I've had 5 of these poles for the past probably 2 years, and only 2 of them have messed up. And keep in mind, I'm not pulling in 1-pound catfish. I'm pulling in up to 30-pound catfish, or even redfish that exceed 20 pounds. To be completely honest with you, if they charge double, I'd still buy these rods because they are so good. As a matter of fact, even though I probably could afford to get a bigger pole, I still will just go and get one of these. I can run 5 or 6 of these rods at the same time, putting the maximum amount of bait in the water, and still be costing less than one single mid-range pole. So go ahead and try it out for yourself. I mean, for the low price of about $45 to get the whole setup, I can almost guarantee you're going to hook into some of the biggest fish of your life. But let me know down in the comments, is it better to have 1 good pole or 5 decent poles? Personally, I'm 100% on the 5 decent pole side, but, you know, to each their own. So there you have it. That's pretty much the cheapest Walmart setup you can get to catch big fish. But if you want to get fancy with it, there's lots of bells and whistles you can buy to make it even better. So if you want to see that video, let me know down in the comments. But before you go, here's a little outtake of me casting out this pole. I hit the tree. It's in the tree right now. I did not think it was going to go that far.
That just gave me a little laugh. As always, Jesus loves you, I love you, and have a great day.